One Art by Elizabeth Bishop. The art of losing is not hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day except the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing is not hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places, names, and where it is you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last, or next to last, of the 3 loved houses went. The art of losing is not hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster. Some realms I own, 2 rivers, a continent. I missed them, but wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident, the art of losing is not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster. I selected the poem One Art because it seems the most interesting and relatable to me. The title tells me that the poem is talking about a pleasant form of art. When I first read the poem, I got really upset just thinking about her situation, because I felt like everybody could relate to the feelings of losing someone. And I loved reading it because it made me think about what other people are going through and what we experience and think are disasters while people actually experience disaster. The poem invokes the theme of love, loss, and sadness, and the subject of losing. The author is trying to convince herself that losing is a positive thing and she should embrace it, but she's actually feeling negatively towards it. I believe that the purpose of this poem is to help the readers confess their true emotions about losing someone and to help them move on. The poem was published in 1976 when she was a poet in residence at Harvard University. The author studied poetry, which helped her master the use of division and poetic form. The poet used villanelle, which is a poetic form composed of 19 lines and only has 2 sounds, a rhyme scheme, and uses repetition. This contributed to the meaning of the poem because she is trying to restrict herself from saying too much or saying too little, because she's a very shy and private person who cannot open up her emotions to anyone. And the repetition had a very important role in the poem because the author is trying to convince herself that the art of losing is not hard to master. The poet linked some particular verbs to help herself master the art of losing. She linked the words look and write because she's trying to force herself to write or look at something to distract herself from thinking about the person she lost. She used those particular words to try to convince herself to move on. She personified the lost things as having an intention to be lost. The poet symbolizes her mother's watch as a symbol of her relationship with her mother. I believe that the poet's purpose of writing this poem is to express her feelings towards losing a loved one without revealing too much, because she's a very shy and private person, which was a result of her relation with her mentally challenged mother in her childhood. My opinion towards the poem has not changed after researching and analyzing it, because I understood and enjoyed the poem when I first read it. I think that anyone who reads this poem will not only enjoy it, but they will also relate to it in many different ways, because everybody has experienced the feelings of fluster losing someone. This poem will also be important in the future because losing someone is a timeless feeling that we can all relate to. This poem has inspired the readers to confess their true emotions about lost and eventually move on.